で、こんにちは。続きですね。オリエント急行殺人事件の続きやっていこうと思います。この、亡くなった方がいらっしゃって、この人、何すんやったっけ宿導者にこうやってんな話す。そうするよ、ここがまだか。終わったら、これペンペンって出るんですけど、多分まだ終わってなくて、まだここを分析せなあかんのかな、どこがあんのかな、終わったら矢印のマークがこうやって出て、で、終わってなかったら丸が出るみたいなんですけど、ここ、いや、でも終わってるよな。この部屋あとどこ調べんのかな、わからへんねんな。
I shouldn't leave until I have finished inspecting the crime scene.
おかしいな、昨日終わったはずやねんけど。終わってなかったんか。
As you see, the victim has been stabbed many times. Several alone would have been fatal.
Yes, I agree. An attack most savage.
I will, of course, prepare a complete report on my findings.
Thank you.
このコップなんかあんのかな。
I'm sure I will find some interesting things inside.
面白いもんってなんやろ、わからんけど。終わった。これで終わったんかな。で、出来事を振り返る。ちょっとね、仕事から帰ってきたらちょっとチューハイ飲もうと思います。うまい。殺人事件のより起こった事故と解明に役立つ要素を2つ選択する。隠してたね。だからこれとこれやろ。違うらしい。これとこれ。飲みはってん。で、これとこれ。そう。あてっこ、何これ、時計やんな。これかな。どっちかが合ってんねや。だから間違えた。わからんもん。シャカタカンで薄めが飲んだ。そうね。
I can't imagine Ratchet taking a sleeping pill if he feared for his life.
飲まされた？飲まされたっていうか、気づかんと飲んだん？この人とチキン、モリってこのモリやった？これか？そやな。ハゲた人ちょっと何してたかわからへん。もう覚えてないよ。んで、102号室にいる。
I think I've seen everything I need at the moment. I'm counting on you to finish your analysis.
I'll have a more detailed report for you as soon as I can.
で、出ると。
So, Poirot, did you find anything out?
It's a bit early for the handcuffs, my friend. Even for Hercule Poirot. Do not worry, mon ami. I believe our culprit has no plans to strike again. Monsieur Ratchet was the target. Of that I am convinced.
そうなの？
Tell me, Book, how did you spend last night?
This is a joke, I hope. Don't you trust your old friend?
My friend, calm yourself. I must hear your story in order to corroborate other accounts.
Ah, naturally. Let me see. I went to my compartment after dinner. Dr. Constantine was already there. We talked about his career. He's a Cambridge man, you know. After university, he returned to his country and has done much good there. He was so interested in the Orient Express. I told him all the anecdotes I know. I'm not certain when we fell asleep, but it was very late.
Here is what I have found out. Monsieur Ratchet was stabbed many times. I also found threatening letters in his safe. He had a loaded gun under his pillow, so he was on guard, ready to defend himself. However, there was an empty glass with white residue at the bottom. I suspect a barbiturate. Perhaps he was forced to take it. In any case, I am certain he was unconscious, unable to defend himself. I also found several other items at the crime scene, possibly related to the murder. They must be investigated.
By all means, Poirot. As fast as you can.
I also found liquid for an electronic cigarette, but I could not find a vape. This might belong to the murderer.
This criminal is an amateur.
I need a list of the passengers with their compartment numbers.
Pierre Michel will have it.
I must interview the rest of the passengers and the staff.
I'll be in the bar car if you need me. We are hours late. Soon I hope help will arrive.
?102ってどこ？こっちかな？あっちかな？こっちかな？さてと。もう走ってこの人。ノックもせんといきなり開けるか。
I believe I am addressing Monsieur Hector McQueen.
Guilty as charged.
I beg your pardon.
Oh, sorry. Just an expression. My father used to say it.
You must have had an interesting childhood. I am Hercule Poirot.
No need to be modest. You're a detective.
You are Monsieur Ratchet's secretary?
I am Mr. Ratchet's secretary. Just over a year. I mainly take care of translating certain texts for him. Mr. Ratchet only speaks English.
Prepare yourself for a shock. Your employer, Monsieur Ratchet, is dead.
So they got him after all.
What do you mean? You are assuming he was murdered?
I know he had enemies.
What can you tell me about Monsieur Ratchet?
He was American. He was an antiques dealer. I don't know much more. Mr. Ratchet never talked about himself or his life, but I think Ratchet wasn't his real name. And he left the United States to run away from something, or someone.
Yes?
He started getting letters, threatening letters.
Do you still have them?
I have one.
Did you know that Monsieur Ratchet had asked for my help?
Asked you? No, I didn't know.
He knew he was in danger. When did you last see him?
Last night around 10 o'clock, I should say.
Did you like your employer, Monsieur McQueen?
No, I did not. He was, I'm sure, a cruel and dangerous man.
危険な男か。
Can you tell me your movements last night?
I went back to my compartment. I read a little. In Belgrade, I went out onto the platform to smoke, but it was cold. I quickly went back in. I then went to Mr. Ratchet's compartment to take some dictation for him. I left around 10 o'clock. I saw Captain Arbuthnot. We ended up chatting in my compartment. Then we went out on the platform to quickly stretch our legs at Binkovsky. He left around 2 o'clock.
Thank you. I will need to check Monsieur McQueen's story.
だから10時ぐらいから2時まではアリバイがあるってことか。
I found a diary in Monsieur Ratchet's safe. Did you know about it?
I kept a business appointment book, but I know he had a personal diary as well. That looks like it.
Are you a smoker?
Yes, I smoke cigarettes. I've tried to quit, but no luck.
Can you give me this letter, please?
Of course, here it is.
死の時。こんだけなんこれ。ペラッペラ。
Was Monsieur Ratchet a smoker?
No, he hated the smell of smoke.
もう一人の人は召使いって。103、隣か。こっちやな。ノックもせんと開ける。
Monsieur Edward Masterman, I believe.
エドワード・マスターマ
Can I ask you some questions?
I can barely talk.
ン。が痛いのか。かわいそうに。そら辛いな。
We have a doctor on board the train. Perhaps.
I do not need a doctor. I use essential oils. If you can find my flask of clove oil in my box, I would be grateful.
Fine, if you insist. I will help you.
それぐらいで自分で取れるやろ。あ、何すんのこれ。
By the smell, I think that the jojoba oil spilled on the other bottles, leaving their labels illegible. I must find another way to find which one is Masterman's toothache remedy. The weighing scale is soaked in jojoba oil. It's unusable. Ah, this old scale will do the job. To start, I must first arrange the vials from the lightest to the heaviest.
めんどくさい。何これ。あ、間違えた。これここや。これで合ってんの？わからんで。なんなんこれ。なんの油よ。間違ってんのかな。ちょっと。
Now that I know the order, I think that I can easily guess which one is the clove oil.
は？いらんってなんの？なんなん？ああ、18になればいいってことか？え？ 257。18、24ってことやろ？
I don't think this is the remedy. Here is Monsieur Masterman's remedy.
これなの？
Here is your remedy. I hope it will help.
Thank you very much, sir. Ah, well, I can finally speak without too much pain. I'm ready to answer your questions.
You are Monsieur Ratchet's valet?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
Were you told that your employer was murdered?
Yes, sir. A very shocking occurrence.
何この人全然わからへんねんけど。39ぐらいかな。ハゲとるな。
I do not think that's the right answer.
そんな言ってる？
This is wrong. But I never... No, not good. I must admit I'm not right. Think, Poirot. No, not good.
これ秘書ちゃうの？年齢が違う？そこら先やったな。あ、召使い、職業召使いってあるんだ。
That was easy. At what hour did you last see Monsieur Ratchet?
It must have been around 9 p.m., sir. That or a little after. I went to bed around 10:30 p.m., same as the person who shares my room. Mr. Foscarelli. He almost immediately began snoring.
What did you do then?
I read, sir, and I spent a while soothing my toothache with clove oil and listening to the snoring.
Did you hear anything during the night?
Yes, my roommate's snoring.
Are you a smoker?
Yes, sir. I have a cigarette now and then to relax.
Tell me about your employer, Monsieur Ratchet.
I've been working for him for 9 months. I should not wish to speak ill of the dead, but he was not a gentleman, sir.
Did you know that he had enemies?
Yes, sir. I heard him discussing some threatening letters, sir, with Mr. McQueen.
Did he mention these letters to you?
He had been reading a letter when I came in. He asked me if I was the one who put it in his compartment. I told him that I had done no such thing, and he should report it to the police at the next station.
How did he respond?
He laughed, sir.
You're joking.
I do not joke, sir.
Forgive me. I can see you do not. Was he taking sleeping pills?
Always when traveling by train, sir. He said he couldn't sleep otherwise. Last night he asked me to give him 2. I did so, along with a glass of water. He dissolved them in the water.
Did you see him drink the water?
No, sir. I left right after I gave him the pills.
Was Monsieur Ratchet a smoker?
No. He finds smokers disgusting.
Can you tell me again why you gave sleeping pills to Monsieur Ratchet?
Yes, I gave him the pills because when he takes the train, he has trouble sleeping. The letter must have worried him. He specifically asked me to prepare the sleeping pills. I didn't see him drink the water with the pills in it.
これかな？これはほんまやと思うねんけど、ちゃうかな？わからんな。これかな？
Evidence can help me prove he's lying.
違うのか。
Monsieur, I believe you are not telling me the truth.
What? How can you say that?
He received threatening letters. One, it seems, last night. Did you know he had a gun under his pillow? and even asked for my help to watch over him. I find it strange that he asked you for sleeping pills when he was afraid for his life and prepared to defend himself.
I'm sure I don't know. Maybe to calm his nerves, maybe out of habit.
It makes no sense.
Wait, please. Isn't it possible that Mr. Ratchet asked me to prepare the pills, but didn't plan to drink them for some reason?
It is possible. But I am a student of character, monsieur, and the Monsieur Ratchet you describe is not the man I met.
If you'll excuse me, my toothache is getting worse again.
I'm afraid this time you must prepare your own clove oil.
乗客の名簿がいるんかな次は。誰か持ってたっけミシェルか。こっちか。走って。だから難しいね。マップあるやん。1、2と食堂車とかラウンジとバーと301と302とかがあるね。
Monsieur Michel, I must ask you a few questions if you don't mind.
I will do everything I can to help.
First of all, tell me about yourself.
Very well. My name, as you know, is Pierre Michel. I am from Calais. I've been with the company for over 15 years.
Thank you.
もう分析ばっかりなこのゲーム。管理者かな。彼でどこ？
This is wrong, but I'm
どう
not...
したな。
Et voilà.
バラ。
Can you provide me with a listing of the passengers and their rooms, please?
Yes, certainly.
Ah. もうファーストネームとラストネームとかもう分からんし。番号11112ってなんだ。
Are you a smoker?
Indeed.
Do you smoke e-cigarettes?
No. Tobacco only.
I would like to reconstruct with your help the events of last night. Monsieur Ratchet retired to bed. When?
Almost immediately after dinner, sir. Actually, before we left Belgrade.
Did anybody go into his compartment after that?
His valet, monsieur. Monsieur Masterman. And then his secretary, the young American gentleman. Monsieur McQueen.
And that is the last time you saw or heard of him?
No, monsieur. You forget that Monsieur Ratchet rang his bell around 12:40 a.m., soon after we had stopped. I knocked at the door, but he called out in French, "Ce n'est rien, je me suis trompé." I then left to answer another bell that had just rung.
Where were you at 1:15 a.m.?
I was sitting on my little seat at the end of the car, facing up the corridor.
Are you sure?
I left a little after 1 a.m. to speak about the snow with my colleague Jean in the bar car. I came back later. There was a call. I remember speaking to you.
Indeed, I remember. Carry on.
It was the American lady, Madame Hobart. She thought she saw a man in her compartment. Then, around 1:50 a.m., I made the bed for Monsieur Ratchet's secretary Monsieur McQueen. He had spent the evening talking with the English Captain Arbuthnot. At 2 a.m., I returned to my place and stayed there until dawn.
What is the last station where we stopped?
Vinkovsky.
Could someone have come on board?
Possibly. I was very busy. Owing to the weather, we were a few minutes late. We left at 12:10 a.m.
これは、あれ動かへんねんけど、なんであれなんかあれ動かへんって。ちょっと待って。動かへんかった。なんであ、こうか。これがここやねんな。んで、なんだこっちさっぱりわからん。あー、難しいな、これ。やっぱり本で思うが頭に入ってくんな、これ。
Can you provide me with a listing of the...
Yes.
Are you a smoker?
Indeed.
Do you...
No.
I would like... Monsieur Ratchet...
Almost immediately.
Did anybody go...
His valet and then his secretary, the young...
And that is the last...
No, monsieur. You forget that, monsieur. I then left to answer another.
Where were you at...
I was sitting on my little seat.
Are you sure?
I left. I came back later. There was a call.
Indeed.
It was the... She thought she saw. Then around 1:50 he had spent the evening. At 2 a.m.
What is...
Vinkovsky.
Could someone have...
Possibly. We left at 12.
だからだ。だからだよ。だからだ。じゃあ、間違えた。これはここやね。だってあの人の話が順番になってんから分からへんって。一発で当たったよ、天才ちゃん。
I'm right again. That happens to me a lot.
半分適当やったけど。204。こう、話ばかり聞いてるとわけわからなくなってくるんだな、きっとな。204ってこっちやったな。204ここか。さっきここパッとなんか印ついたもんな。
Good morning, madam. I am Hercule Poirot.
Caroline Hubbard. What can I do for you, Mr. Poirot?
誰かおったんやろ？
I am the bearer of unfortunate news.
It's obvious with all the commotion that something has happened.
Madame Hubbard, I am afraid your neighbor, Monsieur Ratchet, was murdered last night.
Oh my God. I knew it. I knew it.
I would like to ask you some questions, but first, may I inspect your room?
Of course, yes, you must.
主婦かな？
No, 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 not good. Think, Poirot. I must admit I'm not.
アメリカ人やったんか。
That was easy.
失礼します。
Here is a jacket button. It bears the logo of the
かっこいい
Orient
ね。
Express.
そう、隣の部屋と繋がってんじゃん、これ。
This door connects to Monsieur Ratchet's compartment. It was latched on this side. The luxury of the Orient Express is present in every detail. Madame, please tell me about last night.
The murderer was right here in my compartment. I woke up. All in the dark it was. I was just so scared I couldn't scream. I pressed the call button. I pressed and pressed. I heard footsteps running in the corridor, then a knock on my door. Come in, I screamed. And I switched on the lights at the same time. And would you believe it? There wasn't a soul there.
You think he went back into the other compartment?
How do I know where he went? I had my eyes shut tight. The conductor came in. I told the man what had happened, and he didn't seem to believe me. I asked him to search the room, but he found nothing. I told the conductor to look at the door between the compartments, and sure enough, it wasn't bolted. Well, I soon saw to that. I told him to bolt it, then and there.
How is it you didn't bolt the door between the two compartments?
But I had. Well, as a matter of fact, I asked that Swedish lady, Olsen, Greta, if it was bolted, and she said it was.
How was it you could not see for yourself?
I was already in bed, and my toiletry bag was hanging on the hook of the door. I couldn't see the latch from where I was.
What time was it when you asked her to do this for you?
Oh, it must have been around 10:30 or 10:45 p.m. She'd come along to see if I had an aspirin. But instead of opening my door, she opened Mr. Ratchet's door by mistake. He said something quite rude, like, "Not a chance, lady, you're too old." It shocked her. She came in. I told her where to find the aspirin, and she got it out of my toiletry bag. Poor girl, she didn't have a good night.
The same could be said for Monsieur Ratchet. It appears Mademoiselle Olsen may be the last person to see Ratchet alive. Is this your handkerchief?
No, not at all.
Yet it is embroidered with an initial H, like your name.
I don't care. It's not mine, and I would certainly never buy something so impractical as that frilly thing.
Are you a smoker?
No, definitely not. filthy habit.
I found a jacket button on your table. It looks like it belongs to a train employee. The button bears the logo of the Orient Express.
Well, of course the conductor came in last night, but he didn't go near that table.
Still, it's a safe bet that it belongs to the conductor. I'll check his jacket later, to be sure. I have not finished inspecting your room. If you don't mind.
Ha! Golden mustache.
なんかカバン取ったけどいいんかな。もうないんかな。もうないもんな。ほんでわかんないな。間違えた。まだなんかあんのかな。
Let's see if Mrs. Hubbard was telling the truth about the latch of the connecting door. This hook is probably where Mrs. Hubbard hung her toiletry bag. I can see the latch very well from here, even with the toiletry bag attached. I'll have to clear that up with Mrs. Hubbard. Madame, please tell me about last night.
The murderer was right here in my compartment. I woke up. All in the dark it was. I was just so scared I couldn't scream. I pressed the call button. I pressed and pressed. I heard footsteps running in the corridor, then a knock on my door. "Come in," I screamed. And I switched on the lights at the same time. And would you believe it? There wasn't a soul there.
You think he went back into the other compartment?
How do I know where he went? I had my eyes shut tight. The conductor came in. I told the man what had happened, and he didn't seem to believe me. I asked him to search the room, but he found nothing. I told the conductor to look at the door between the compartments, and sure enough, it wasn't bolted. Well, I soon saw to that. I told him to bolt it, then and there.
Mrs. Hubbard, you told me that the door connecting the two compartments was closed, correct?
Yes, it was, as I told you. I was already in bed and my toiletry bag was hanging on the hook of the door. I couldn't see the latch from where I was. That's why I asked Miss Olsen to check if it was closed.
I know there is a clue somewhere to prove she's lying. She may be telling the truth, but I cannot be certain. Are you sure everything you've told me is accurate, Madame Hubbard?
Of course. I have an excellent memory.
You must have had a moment in the evening when you could have checked the latch, but you didn't. Why?
I was so tired I didn't feel like getting out of bed. Then the Swedish girl came in.
You must have had a moment in the evening when you could have checked the latch, but you didn't. Why?
I was so tired I didn't feel... Then the Swedish girl came in.
You must have had a moment in the evening when you could have checked the latch, but you didn't. Why?
I was so tired. I didn't. Then the Swedish girl came in.
You said you couldn't see the latch from your bed, yet you had to get up from your bed to give Mademoiselle Olsen the aspirin.
No, I stayed in bed and told her the aspirin was in my toiletry bag in the vanity. I did ask her to check if the latch between the compartments was closed.
Mrs. Hubbard, I tested putting your toiletry bag on the door hook as you told me. From your bed, you can easily see the latch on the door. The toiletry bag does not hide the latch at all.
Are you saying I'm lying? It may have been stuck somehow in a different position, or I may not have seen it in the darkness. Or I didn't think to look, you irritating man.
Details matter, madame. A man has been most savagely murdered. You will excuse me if I attempt to separate the truth from the false.
Forget my toiletry bag and focus on who entered my compartment. Probably after killing Mr. Ratchet.
Madame Hubbard is a force to be reckoned with, but I suspect I'm not done with her. I found a jacket button on your table. It looks like a train employee. The button bears the logo of the Orient Express.
Well, of course the conductor came in last night, but he didn't go near that table.
Still, it's a safe bet that it belongs to the conductor. I'll check his jacket later, to be sure. Thank you for your assistance, madame. While Monsieur Michel was chatting with Monsieur Fauchet in the bar car between 1 a.m. and 2 a.m., the murderer could have escaped Ratchet's room without being seen. That was easy. According to the information I have, this is a solid choice.
わかんないけど。
This direction looks promising. Can you provide me with a listing?
Yes, certainly.
What is the last?
間違ったって。
Zinkowski.
Could someone have come on board?
I was very left.
I found a button from an Orient Express staff jacket. Did you lose one by any chance?
No, monsieur. As you can see, I have all my buttons. It is not mine.
think, Poirot, that is
違うん
not
か
a good
残ってるやつ
answer.
だと思った。
The murderer may have impersonated Ratchet by calling Monsieur Michel to make it seem that Ratchet was still alive at 12:37 a.m. My little gray cells did not let me.
これかな
I'm right again. That happens to me a lot. 'According to the information I have, this appears to be a good lead.
?わかんない。
Good morning, madam. The snow is a predicament, is it not?
I am Russian. Snow is no stranger to me.
Ah, the accent. Would it be St. Petersburg?
You are very perceptive. Monsieur Poirot, is it not?
And may I take it, I have the honor of addressing Princess Natalia Dragomirov.
We dispense with the old titles these days. My husband, all of my past, was taken from me by these Stalinists. When they were gone, I became director of the St. Petersburg Museum of Antiquities to restore and preserve what I can of my country's history.
Still, the delay must be vexing.
If I must be late for my appointments, then they will wait.
I know that I would certainly wait, madame. It has been my extreme pleasure to make your acquaintance, madame.
Au revoir, Monsieur Poirot.
So, my friend, have you found our killer?
Not yet, but I will tell you what I have learned.
Please.
Our assassin could have gotten on the train at Vinkovsky disguised as a conductor, entered Ratchet's room and killed him. Then he walked out through Madame Hubbard's connecting door, where he lost a button from his jacket. He had to wait for Monsieur Michel to be absent. He waited too long. The train had left the station.
He was trapped aboard.
Indeed. He had opened the window to make it look that he'd escaped that way. However, if he waited until the train stopped again due to snow, his footprints would have been found.
The murderer is still among us. On the train.
There's a problem with the second-class toilets.
What now?
All morning passengers have been complaining that the door is locked, so I went to check. I knocked, but no one answered. I didn't think I should open it without speaking to you first.
You did well, Monsieur Michel. Lead the way.
I used my master key.
But who is she? Is she alive?
She is breathing.
Then if she isn't dead, isn't she our murderer?
That, my friend, is what we must find out. Miss, can you hear me?
トイレで倒れるってすごいな。
She's breathing. Her pulse is strong. There is no sign of physical violence. This woman is sleeping very soundly. The ticket reads Joanna Locke, traveling in compartment 105. This woman is sound asleep. Given her location, I would say she has been drugged and deposited here.
Well, at least it's not another murder on my train.
The train is, of course, full.
Monsieur, the list I gave you indicates that Hildegard Schmidt shares her compartment.
I will want to talk to her later. For now, we will concentrate on this mysterious young lady. Let's return her to her more comfortable bed.
Good idea. Pierre, locate this woman's room and fetch the doctor.
Yes, sir.
I will question her when she wakes up.
Please, let me know what you learn.
Mademoiselle Locke's compartment is 105. I suggest we return her to her more comfortable bed.
Yes, hopefully she will awaken soon.
To人の荷物勝手に開けてええんかな。ちゃうって。
A cup of tea with white residue at the bottom.
睡眠薬かな。
A briefcase and a wagon lit conductor's jacket. And the button is missing.
あとなんかあんのかな。番号か。わからんな、これじゃ。 ニコニコ笑ってんと。何もなのか分からへんねんけど。何？え？いや、分かってるけど、
A cup of tea.
こっちか？
A briefcase and a briefcase.
いや、他に何も動かへんねんけど。はーい。回転？2、3、4。ああ、そっか、9まであるもんな。え？出れへんようになってるもんな。はぁ？いや、え？いや、カーソル3つしかないんやけど。しかも何本か分からへんやんな。いや、部屋狭いんですけど、なんのこっちゃさっぱり分からへんやん、これ。なんか他のとこ調べてから来なあかったんかな。いやー、どうやろ。いや、これ開けれないし。 何も開けられへんもんな。ちょっとなんか、詰まってはないけど、詰まったんかな。いや、この人邪魔だよ。ここでやめたらどうなるんだろう。何も出てこへんねんけどな。なんか持ってないよな。狭い部屋で立ち往生したようです。どうしようかな。困ったな。こ4分の1で調べる言うたかて。
A cup of tea with white residue at the bottom. A cup of tea with white residue at the bottom.
まあこれので寝たんやろうけど、なんか番号でもなんかあんのかな。ではないって。
A briefcase and a wagon.
いや、なんもできへんって。わかんない。
A briefcase and a wagon conductor's jacket, and the button is missing. A briefcase and a wagon conductor's jacket, and the button is missing.
進まないんで、ちょっと今日はここでやめとこうと思います。セーブどうしようかな。セーブしとこうかな。セーブして進まなくなったら、このゲームやめようかな。違うか。わからん。セーブ。立ち往生。ここも立ち往生やん。ちょっと進めるかどうかわからないけど、ちょっと調べてからちょっとまたやろうかなと思います。ご視聴ありがとうございました。